Hello there and welcome to an advertisement for the tournament that is happening this weekend. You have two of the tournament players. You've got Elpern in the south as the Soviets. You've got AE Casting with OrangePest bringing us an introduction of Delerious in the north.
Oh yeah, Delerious is already going tier 1 straight off the bat with an MG4, which means we're not going to see a sniper for sure.
Oh, there you go. That's a little bit of possible sarcasm there. Because OrangePest is a personality, let's say. He's quite you rage a lot, OrangePest, but you are a fan of this game. You're a damn good player.
I absolutely love this game, even if it is like torturing myself playing.
So we're gonna show you some swanky new little things today, hopefully that you're gonna enjoy. This is some of the tech I've been working on for the league, just to make the production quality as high standards as it could. And to be honest, it's why I need a little bit of practice with my own bloody keyboard commands. That's a brief introduction of OrangePest. You're, I think, number 14 seed. Is that right for this
13.
weekend?
You predicted me wrong.
Oh
It's
dear,
kind of insulting that you put me that low, actually. The fact that Marco people got higher. That's
I know Markov is an auto match bully, and you fancy yourself a tournament player because you've done a lot of scrimming work in the last year. But let's give these two players a lot of respect. They're actually very close on the seeding list themselves. Elpern and Delerious are fighting it out, and they're on the map Ploiesti. And OrangePest, you were telling me you think this map's improved quite a lot thanks to White Flash, and he's made some good changes to it.
Yeah, last time I played it, it wasn't like this though. This is actually quite different, but it seems to be a lot better. The main thing I'm worried about in terms of the map is just the flow in capping, because the retreat paths are so extremely long. They can make for some very tedious gameplay where you have to focus everything center, but then you lose the entire map. And if you don't take center, then you lose pretty much on just VP control and map presence in the center, which is just your staging point for most of the engagements.
Check out Elpern's use of sight blockers here. He's escaping the wrath of the MG by firstly roaring out of its scope, and then just soft pedaling away. So some good play in the early games. But these players do know that they're being casted, by the way. Elpern's streaming live on Twitch, and OrangePest and I said we're going to go cast your game for YouTube. And so yeah, the stakes are going to be a little bit higher than they otherwise would have been. Not just bragging rights. They know all you guys are watching, so it does have that element to it as well.
Elpern, I feel like, has already made some mistakes though in terms of his HP usage. He's already like half HP on 2 squads, and that's kind of bad when Pios are the only really injured squad in the entire Delirious roster. That said, Krenz kind of shit. I'm not upgraded, so it's not the worst situation to be in.
No, and there's a mass retreat in the centre, allowing, of course, with the Ploiesti resource capping system, there's a lot in the centre to take, and it's currently being taken by a Soviet player in the southeast, Elpern. So just as you're going to read this in the description and the pinned comments of this YouTube video, but of course the tournament is this weekend. It's going to be on a new Twitch name, at least, twitch.tv/co-master league. 2 weekends of casting, but combat engineers.
That was risky. This is what I mean with the low HP thing. He's already falling behind. But he's got good map control.
He has, and I just got field infirmary back in basics, and it's very lucky for him the combat engineers are there to enjoy it, because they came very low. Meanwhile, by the way, he's gotten a good cut-off in the north, depriving Delirious of fuel.
A new building actually has a lot more open space. It might actually end up being a lot more powerful than it used to be. I'm not sure on it yet, but it seems like attacking north side is slightly easier. Because it used to be some pretty brutal cutoffs.
Yeah, it's opened the gap up slightly, but the sight blockers on it mean you can't really see too much out of it facing north. Right, they're trying to get around the scope of the MG yet again. Delirious is caught with his pants down once more.
This won't accomplish anything. They're going to get pushed away by the piles, no problem.
Yeah. There's the superior game sense of OrangePest kicking, and he knows his weapons profiles, and so does Delirious in this case. He bullied the conscripts out of position.
I think he actually missed on a wipe there too. Had he positioned this MG correctly, that would have dropped those 2 models down pretty much instantaneously.
And here we go, we've got the first of many Christmas presents coming to Elpern. Looks like he's gone for SVT rifles. Hey, What do you think of this commander since it's been nerfed so much? Do you think it is...
It's still very, very powerful. It's not my preferred go-to. I prefer defensive community, but against Wehrmacht and Grens specifically, the matchup is very, very solid because pretty much every range you will start winning, except maybe max range, but that's what you have the sandbags for. It means forcing your opponent to take high-risk engagements, force them to blob, and go into P-Grens for sure.
There you go, and it must be said that Elpern's had a heck ton of control so far. Let's check out the stats and see that he's toe-to-toe with Wehrmacht nearly enough on KD, which is not good if you're Delerious. What about Delirious' choice as well? Mobile Defense Doctrine. Now, this hasn't been seen for many a time due to Puma being tied to Tier 2 tech, but yeah, it's an interesting one.
it's an outright bad diss.
Yeah.
It doesn't offer him anything right now, early on. He's not getting anything for Val. His Puma is still going to be a 10-minute Puma, because that's what the overall timing is going to be for at best. And it's just not worth it in any sense of the word unless you're heavily in the lead and you want to shut down like an incoming T70 rush.
First SVT engagement against Grenadiers. They, of course, drop a Grenadier. That's what they're really good at, OrangePest. Grenadiers are good at
Leading
dying.
It's torture to get them right. It's almost impossible to get good value out of Grens without Feynman.
You pretty much have to be getting Vet 3 LMG Tier 4 for Grenadiers to suddenly be competitive, in my opinion.
Even then, some of the infantry units they're up against will still give them a run for their money.
Nice bundle. Has he seen it? Oh, not barely. And now the Sturmgewehr's finished the job. Good work by Delerious there.
It's a good pickup. They're about equal in army size now, and army value, I'd say.
In the blink of an eye, with a bundle of joy from the Panzer Grenadiers, it turns into a packet of tears for Elpern. He's streaming this live, he's under pressure, he's been told we're casting it. So he won't be enjoying that right now, and I know he was raging already tonight. I did actually catch that on Twitch, so...
well, that's what we all do.
Yeah, it is.
But the match is just, can get torturous sometimes.
Let he who does not rage and co-cast the first stone. You know, even Von Ivan probably takes his dog for a walk and rages. You know, it's...
You can tell when one gets mad. He's just really good at hiding. Also, a good rifle nade coming up from the Grenson's center is going to force away those conscripts. I'd like to see a medkit used now, just to give him some more staying power, but not a whole lot of players actually use that ability.
No, they do not, and I actually saw a little bit of it used earlier today, and in some of the OBS games I saw, and I thought, oh, that's nice. I even forgot what the UI looks like for a Grenadier medkit.
It's actually surprisingly one of the most powerful abilities you can field in the game. It's not better than the British one, but it's still pretty overall, pretty powerful. And it becomes free once you get the 5-man Grenadier.
Unfortunately, with Tommy's being oppressive right now, obviously, of course, snipers are back in vogue. So we are seeing a lot more medkits because of snipers, I think. Here we go, we've got combat engineers on retreat. We will see the bundle nade. We have the munitions. And he's a little bit late, I want to say. Yes, indeed he is.
We got a big northern engagement too. Piles are getting pushed away. MG's gonna get cut down by the SVTs behind green cover, and this is where conscripts come into play, really. Their main strengths, the sandbag spam. Can't keep up with this with Grens.
9.5 minute T70 looming. That's not bad, and there's never a bad time for a T70, but it certainly is a good time. And I don't feel like I think he's missed his mega window. Saying that though, Delirious has gone for,
but it's strong.
Yeah, but he's gone for a second Panzer Grenadier squad, so and his munitions aren't very high. So the fact that he's done that and he doesn't have the manpower for a pack very quickly, for me, this T70 will now have a glory period. It's not going to be bad anymore.
I think if you could kick, I don't know how much the CP, the tier 2 he's building gives, but it could kickstart him enough to get him the Puma on the field then quickly enough to count. I haven't used the Puma in forever, man. It's it might be on time, it might not be. I think a pack would be a bit of a mistake though. I think you could survive with just some fouls. Oh god, nice bundle nade on center.
Oh, very good indeed. However, the pattern, the actual algorithm for retreat took him past the nade, so he survived. Here comes the T70. First few shots could be crucial, and indeed the Panzer Grenadiers get out of there as quickly as they can, but he's going to pursue. He's seen 2 Panzer Grenadiers. He'd be a fool not to, OrangePest.
He's got no fouls nearby at all. be a wipe if he really senses that the Gwyn's are position. Oh, never mind, actually.
Oh, here we go.
Okay, so he bought himself enough time for the Puma to go into production, which is going to unlock momentarily.
Deu Machina there from a Faust that we weren't aware of, and Delerious just threatened him enough there. Meanwhile,
the Puma.
And the poo-poo's coming.
The Puma. It's going to come right now. Gonna make the T70 irrelevant, I think.
It's not bad, is it? It's not bad. I mean, so what are we looking at in terms of cost these days? So it's still 70 fuel, fair enough, 270. So he's basically cancelling out his opponent's tech, and we're just going to have this delicate dance, rather, not a bance, throughout the map. And it seems like a decent map for vehicle play, I want to say, OrangePest. The sight blockers should make it interesting.
It's bad for AT guys, that's for sure. Tank hunting light vehicles, like the Puma, are particularly strong. The Lux and like the Steward, I don't feel are nearly as strong though. But that's my.
Oh, that's a nice nade.
Oh, he misses it again. No.
Sorry to
very
interrupt.
close.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's fine. It's just I only have experience with the new variants of Ploiesti. I don't know how the light vehicles perform. It could be wildly different.
Tell you what, aesthetically speaking, I'm liking the foliage. It's not as brown shit-stained anymore. Puma pushing away the T70, which is trying to escape. We've got the threat of an 18-8, which does exist. It's not just psychological. T70 is going to try and get around that traversing turret. Gets a good rear armor shot in, but eats one of its own, and it could bite the dust here.
He might go down here. Maybe two more shots.
Gets round the silo. Puma misses.
Oh, GG.
There you go.
That was unfortunate. He wasn't timing his movement correctly for one. He was moving while firing sometimes, and that increases your missing chance massively with the Puma. That's one of the things you might not notice initially, but like the Puma's accuracy on the move is horrendous, and it can really set you back.
Well, one thing that we didn't mention about the Puma, of course, is because this is played on Tourney mod. For those that don't know, the players have unanimously voted for a concept that me and Wolf have been working on, which is just to remove the 4 worst defending RNG criticals from the game, quite frankly, which is Abandon, Main Gun Destroyed, Plane Crash Crushing Everything to Death, and there was another one. I can't. What's the other one, OrangePest? What did we do else?
Plane Crash, Abandon, Main Gun Criticals, Plane...
out of control shots, so once you kill the tank, it can't go on like a...
I noticed that one, if I'm honest.
Nah, it is possible though. You can kill a tank, it can carry on driving and shoot everything, and it's not even the opponent playing anymore. So we remove them. You're never going to notice, to be honest, viewers. If you love those as part of the game, I agree with you. It's nice to have it in your casual games, but for big tourneys, we're not going to see them anymore. We just saw a very...
Oh, T70 though. It's going to come right on the P-Gun and retreat path. It's going to wipe it, I think.
It is. It's got a little gap in the wall, but it's going to go around it. And needs to go stationary. Turret swivels, misses. Here's the Faust that's threatening. He's gonna risk it.
Here's the thing with firing on the move. You gotta time your movement. Even fast. Oh, you don't have.
No, he had 22 muni. Didn't quite have it. Needs 25, of course. And here's the guards airborne with the Pipashaz attacking as well. So nice game so far. But sorry, my point was, OrangePest, is of course Pumas are the worst sufferers of the main gun critical because of their low armor profile. They often base rush, so the base MGs often give them a main gun critical. And,
oh yeah, it can be very painful. But now that that's gone for the tournament, I think we're gonna see a lot better, like, high quality games and a lot more closer ones where RNG won't randomly save one side over the other.
Yeah. It's really interesting for certain. And strategically speaking, this looks like a very fair battle so far. You can say Elpern's had the better of the early game, but he is playing Soviets at the end of the day against Grenadiers. And now we're starting to see that power creep as we've got we've got Veterancy 2 Panzer Grenadiers. We've got a nice bundle there as conscripts walk into it. They eat a hell of a lot of health damage. And that
he actually got saved by the sandbag there. That would have been a wipe otherwise, I think. The 50% reduced damage from the green cover.
Do you think the crit kicked in, did it? Yeah, that's interesting. Okay.
Saw the shield for a moment.
Of course, one of the big reasons that a lot of pro players choose to eat grenades rather than retreat from them. I'm not suggesting he did that, but it is just a top tip for you guys. Sometimes it's just genuinely better to not do anything at all because you've got that green cover bonus and you get the minus 50% received damage.
It can be a bit of a gamble though, depending on where the grenades themselves land.
And the grouping, of course. Yeah, the grouping, indeed. It's 50% received accuracy, 25% received damage, isn't it? That's the
it's something pretty substantial.
Let's go with that, yeah.
Yeah. It makes you not die instantaneously to a bundle now.
I made a conscious decision not to remember coming hero stats, and I thought my charm would carry me through casts. It's worked for the last 8 years, and I don't plan on changing anytime soon. Dushka's getting taken out, but the guards will try and save the day, and they're more than likely going to do that.
The guards lose the fight, though. Oh no, he just ups the retreat. Okay.
Oh, that's an expensive Dushka from now on. I don't even want to put any more men on that. You merge them with conscripts, surely.
I don't think Aecohmatt guards. Is he bugged? It's not moving. Oh, there we go.
Oh.
Sometimes the Dushkas have lag spikes where they just refuse to do anything.
Yeah.
But then the first cost for airborne guards is actually kind of cheap. It's only 27 manpower. Not too bad.
Got 11 infantry kills, and of course that all-important one Puma kill on the T-70. The Puma, of course, has been replaced. But now Elpern, using that Swedish Mega Brain, Magnus Carlsen, leading AE on chess 3-2.
Magnus is Norwegian, isn't it?
Whatever. It's all.
This is like how you mixed me up with. Not mixed me up. You thought I was from the Netherlands.
Yeah, there's OrangePest. They wear orange soccer shirts. You know what I mean? It makes so much logical sense.
Typical British behavior.
Yeah, the Brits are the most arrogant country by far. It is true. But, you know, it kind of goes to your head, doesn't it? Controlling the planet for 200 years. You'd be arrogant as well. It's just going to happen. Exactly. It's not our fault. Well, it is our fault. Yeah, sorry. Anyway, T-70 in position. Rifle names the Ziscun and eats some models.
Decision making. He's wasting a lot of muni right now. He kind of needs to save some of it. I feel like some mines or S-mine in the flanks would be really handy right about now. Even the saving muni for this emergency smoke for the pool. That's it. I think in the south we're gonna see Molotovs here, and the bundle nade on retreat.
Oh! Tell you what, Delerious' timing with the bundle nades has been pretty poor. He needs to get into cheat commands and just practice nades on retreat. I'm so surprised top players don't do that, quite frankly.
I've thought about it, and it's because it's almost all intuition based. You have to make it really precise.
T-70's reversed into a brick wall. He's now going forward to get out of there. You've got the Ziscun watching on, but the Puma does get the kill. He pops smoke. Ziscun's going to fire surely, but he's past the veil, and he is going to survive. Meanwhile, Gren's suffering, but the Pepachas do have a close quarter combat profile, and they survive to fight another day.
I feel like the decision of going mobile defense hasn't really paid off overall. He still had to trade one Puma for the T-70 and lost a bunch of map control. But overall, very little game, whereas Ostrypen or 5-man Grens would have done it much better, I think.
I think that's the tale of the meta right now. In most cases, Ostrypen do better.
In the Soviet matchup specifically, it's incredibly hard for Soviets to keep.
It basically nerfs their best advantage, which of course is the manpower economy and the capping and staying power. So of course Ostrypen are absolutely demolishing them right now. You know, Hans foretold it. It may have fallen a little bit by the wayside in terms of winning tournaments anymore, but he certainly started playing Ostrypen before anybody else, and it is now in vogue once more.
I think it's the power of having a unit that can compete with conscripts pretty consistently, and then having a really easy way to snowball into the flamer half-track that just makes you so explosive.
Yeah. Indeed, and of course the flamer half-track doesn't have to be a flamer. You can get the healing going on a lot, like toggling stuff that Jibber Jabber does, for example, is very interesting. I think
so cheesy with that.
It's cheesy, but it's cool. You gotta admit. Come on, you wish you were doing it.
I could do it, honestly, but
I see.
I'm not a one-trick, unlike him.
He's certainly a one-trick, but what a trick, you know? You can't deny him.
He's actually, on some maps, he's actually unbeatable in Auto Match.
I mean, you're Dutch, you know Iron Robin, the footballer? He's a one trick. He just does cut inside and left. Oh no, sorry, you're Swedish, my bad.
Christ.
No, I'm just joking now. I'm hopefully joking in a way that you're not sure. That's what.
No, I got that as a joke immediately.
Good, good.
I'd hope so.
I'm used to casting people with next to no social skills. That's not true. It has happened though. I have cast with players before, and it is awkward at best. There've been the forgotten tapes where I've like made a polite excuse not to upload the YouTube video or something. God, I'm a mean person, aren't I? I'm a mean person.
If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But you're meant to deliver quality more so than anything. Oh, second MG42 coming out. Actually, I like this. Double MG42 is one of the strongest decisions you can make in the current patch. Just the ability to contain so much map control by just setting down the MG and being able to contend with pretty much anything they field, and then guarding it with P-guns.
One thing I'll draw attention to, unless these Panzer Grenadiers die, in which case I definitely have to draw attention to that. Will Dushka be able to hot switch? He should be attack moving it now.
We're switching.
He's kind of slow on it, wasn't he? He hasn't got that nailed down.
It was that, and P-guns are notoriously incredibly hard to kill right now.
Oh, are they? Fair
Yeah,
enough.
all their veterancy gives them durability, so they become like walking tanks.
Delerious isn't going to the Dushka steal quite yet. No, he's taking it down. The Puma's prowling. We've also got the T-3476 out, so the Dushka's going to be lucky to survive, if indeed it is going to be targeted. And there it is. Dushka's actually turned on its master. That's an interesting and ballsy decision. Puma, meanwhile, is getting obliterated by the T-34. He's got to get around the apex.
No Muni for small guy that's going to come down to the head, and he misses! No! We got point blank Sisbarrage on the Dushka as well. This is quite hectic.
It is very hectic. It's all going down. The Puma's being chased and destroyed. Meanwhile, he's trying to get into the smoke before he can be Faust. So the Grenadiers are going south to get around the smoke and give themselves that Fausting opportunity. Will they be snared? Of course they will be. No, again the Munis.
This is what I mean. He spent it on throwing grenades, and you know he has no answer for that. He's gonna have to go into a second Puma. He's got no choice.
Oh dear. I'm sorry, I'm just not a fan of seeing Wehrmacht without a Pack 40. I don't know. It's just, I just don't get it, quite frankly. I mean, as you say, it's a good map for mobile, and it's not a great map for anti-tank, but, I mean, in your heart of hearts, would you have a Pack 40 as Wehrmacht right now?
Out of desperation, yes.
Yeah, you'd have to have one, wouldn't you? It's a real choice.
In a situation where he's okay on infantry, but he's gonna be bleeding. These P-guns, yes, they're gonna do well. Oh, the MG42 is gonna suppress the infantry, yes. But the T-34 has literally no predator. It can walk around and do whatever it wants.
I've got to stop our train of thought a little bit. I know you say he's doing well on infantry, but that veterancy is borderline insane. That he's got in there. The amount of kills he's got on his Panzer Grenadiers means that. I mean, just look at his push down south right now. He may have lost his armour, and the T-34 should, in theory, be putting a lot of pressure on him. But manpower is always king in Company Heroes. It always has been. And for me right now, let's just check the stats actually. There you go. Yeah, Delerious did pull ahead. So in that mayhem, and I agree, shoddy munitions usage, clearly, he has actually had a better manpower economy, possibly. What do you think about that?
Yeah, and it came, I think, may have come down to the nade spam. Even if I don't agree with it necessarily, it was definitely one of the choices I put in my head. But it's just P-grants on most of the engagements you take as Soviets with conscripts against P-grants is incredibly difficult. Like you can see this engagement right now.
That was nice! He was using the SVCs having to change targets to give him his Panzer Grenadiers time to assemble to then get the weapons profile advantage of the Sturmgewehrs. That was interesting, to say the least. I quite liked it.
Oh, you might get crushed here. Only one model. Okay, so not too bad.
That would have been cool.
The problem with facing P-grants is that you have to force long-range engagements, which is where the MG42 really comes into play. In terms of like army composition, and pushing P-grants becomes incredibly hard. Like you can see now the Airborne, for example, who are meant to compete, dropping several models before even like doing any damage.
It's an interesting game for certain. It's difficult to call, I would say, at the moment. I mean, victory points aren't even that far apart anymore. So yeah, we could be in for a long one, OrangePest.
Okay, he's going for a P4. Alright. It's not bad. I would have gone for a Stug here though. Just in terms of competing in cost efficiency.
Hey, Gren's low. Vet 3 Gren's being chased by Teeth at 4. Elpern smells blood and gets the kill.
Oh, fuck. That's brutal. It's the best squad he had for Gren still.
Yeah, that was the Terminator squad. They had a lot of kills.
Ultimately though, I don't know if that he went Shreks on the B-Grants. I don't know if I agree with that.
There's a lot of iffy decisions right now. One thing that White Flash says he loves about this map is it makes players think more. Because it's not like a map that's been in the game so far, and I would agree with that. Gren's going down in the north! Big shot from the T-34, takes them out of course, stationary, moving, but bonus.
He's getting torn to pieces right now. He's overextending like mad with all his infantry, and he's not giving himself the safety net he really needs.
I think he's overplayed himself. I'm sensing that he's played very well, and he's been in a lot of mayhem, but his endurance is kicking in a little bit, which is alarming considering he's about to enter a massive tournament as Delerious.
He's standing on a mine. It's lucky that I was swept early. I was just about to go off the duration, so I would have detonated right on him.
So yeah, I just think, as I say, that Spike, I know it's only 26 minutes in, but you notice that he was playing out of his mind for that first 15 minutes. I just feel he's subdued now a little bit. Made some dodgy decisions, overextended his grenadiers, fallen into traps, quite frankly, that he shouldn't have. He shouldn't have put himself in that position to be gobbled up on retreat.
I think his main weakness right now is that he lost basically all his hard to speak, all his anti-infantry. Yeah, there's 2 Pigman squads. One is now an AP unit. Won't fight anything head on really.
Dear.
It's just gonna be free bleed, and then he has 1 Gren and 1 Pigman to basically carry the rest, and that's not gonna cut it.
No. Another Panzer IV though, so he's making use. But we're going to be up against a Katusha. Elpern with a very interesting choice. Nobody will have seen this coming, and especially Delerious himself. Of course, now with 3 MG guns, it's always going to be a target for the rocket artillery.
Yeah, I think that's the main purpose of it really. Get controllers and start taking out the support weapons, and then the entire army of Delirious is just gonna start crumbling. He's got no way to fight the infantry anymore, really. Oh, nice golden nade though.
Oh yes, very nice indeed. And the LMG could finish the job, but Elpern was quick on the trigger and gets out of dodge. Oh, by the way, look at the Katusha's positioning. Oh, it's lining up. Here we go.
Right, so, the base probably.
Oh, yes. Second salvo could be a good one, I think. Last one. Oh, this is the last one. He's killed the medics so far, I think.
And 1 grand kill.
Okay, that was awful.
Yeah, that's a max range firepower. Terrible.
I thought it was quite far up, actually, but I was clearly wrong. I thought he'd pulled up reasonably far, but
oh, this T-34 might get caught out of position right now.
Just as you say, he reverses away. Well coached there, OrangePest.
Yeah, I'm sending him Steve messages right now. Micromanaging him.
From 5 minutes in the past, yeah.
I'd win the tournament if I had those powers. Okay, we've got 2 instruments right now though. Sysgun and P4 are gonna be smacking it away. Weird Sysgun positioning, going to at least keep away the
big
P4.
boy blobs falling into a bundle in the middle. Oh, that's a bad one. And the airborns could be going down. They're getting targeted by the Panzer IV. Smoke popped. He's attack grounding and misses.
Pounding on the P4 on the left right now. Might see a ram into the strafe, but he bounces twice in a row and the P4 actually lives for it.
And here comes the second Panzer IV coming from the side. Takes 1 T-34 out. He rams. And he's cruise shots, of course. Kamikaze. Let's get an eye on that strafe.
Will he move in time? Oh, he's moving right in. So broken.
Yeah, it is. It's fun though. It's great as a caster because it gives you really cool things to watch.
That equalized the losses they took, just about. I think, even if it did it put Delerious in a slight lead, but it was strong enough to at least give them some leverage. A bit of a wasteful Katusha barrage. Why are we slowing down?
Oh, I've balked my hotkeys.
I
Don't
thought
worry
something was
about
up.
it, my friend. It's fine. I just need to... There's a few things that are working right now on my stream. That's why I'm doing a test stream, quite frankly. I've got to get some stuff ironed out before the tournament. So if you've seen some balking, it is indeed AE. Not pressing his buttons correctly. Smokes him out there with the guards. He's trying to push forward. But he's not looking too good right now. He's on 39 population cap. Conscripts push in and combat engineers get taken out. Elpern is dissipating before our very eyes.
That's the power of the P-grants right there. And then he can just heal up right away if he uses the pilot. That's the thing. They don't drop models really, these P-grants. So they can take some very like drawn out battles. They can get so much damage done. Still retain on the field if you heal them.
I have to say, by the way, Ploiesti's looking a pretty damn good map now. I think White Flash has been able to rescue this one. For a while, I was really worried about it, but I'm enjoying it so far. Yeah, it's got, good, it's got much better
I
flow
have
to
my
it.
I have my doubts, but we'll have to see for the tournament. I think that'll be the deciding factor.
I think just putting the huge warehouses at an you know, it's not facing each other anymore. They're a lot, you know, they're a bit further out. I think it adds a little bit better flow, I'd say, a little bit better. 100 points remain for Elpern. He looks likely to lose this. Second Panzer IV is being replaced. Still got the 3 MG guns, and importantly, of course, the Katusha has 1 kill.
He's wasted. One barrage was decently placed, but it wasn't close enough to really get value out of it. Then the second one was just a waste. But here comes the third one. Third time's the charm, right?
Oh yeah, and it's on a Dushka, and yeah, did a little bit more this time. T-34 finishes the job.
It's something, but it won't be quite what he needs to salvage this. I feel like the decision of going a T-34 of an Su-85 is really what's going to lose him the game here.
Guards Airborne get really desperate as well, and when you get desperate, you just lose more manpower, and you fall into the trap, quite frankly. Combat Engineers are in a dire situation. Panzer Grenadiers push forward. We've got a second Panzer IV on the field. Elpern does not have enough pressure to keep this structure from collapsing, and yeah, it's GG in my opinion.
Well. I don't think he established this at this stage. He made too many mistakes. Some weird taking decisions, like going Molotovs and then never really utilizing, is kind of bizarre. Ego checks ended up paying off, but I feel like that was more because Elpern made mistakes rather than the decision of getting Shreks being good.
Yeah, a little bit of nice toggling there from Elpern, just staying out of range of the Panzerfaust and trying to get some good shots off. Meanwhile, one squad has gone west. It's the new Airborne Guards, and they're going to do their best to keep him in this game. But he'll still have 2 victory points against him. So here comes one last big push of the remaining Airborne Guards. Panzer IV flanking the silo. T-34 can't sustain itself for very long. Does eat a shot possibly.
Nice, the shot blocker there to prevent one shot on him. Ooh, nice wipe on the P-gun. Don't drop any though. Actually, are the weapon drops getting affected by the tournament one?
No.
Oh, gonna make it guaranteed. That'd be glorious.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, it's one of the things I think we should look into once we've like gotten really confident with what we're doing. I think whenever you've been a bit bold, like we've been with this one, you just want to err on the side of caution at first. But you know, weapon drops. Everybody keeps saying that, so I think it's something to look into after a certain idea.
There's a lot of issues with the game, but yeah.
You have to draw the line that you can't remove the character and the randomness and the chaos. You have to keep all the randomness and chaos in without.
You gotta keep away the frustrating and boring stuff mainly. It is kind of funny to see a conscript squad sprint around with 2 shreds.
Certainly is, and we've got Delerious looking to get the northern victory point. They've got the central one neutralised. You've got MG, well, it's a Dushka rather. That's getting flanked and naded. It'll be a good nade. They're bunched up, I tell you. Yeah, there you go. Takes them out.
Not gonna be nearly enough though. Just throw in the towel.
Just slow
This is
death.
over.
It is, and here's a bundle made possibly to finish the job. He gets suppressed at the last possible moment, and Elpern is going to be left with no real choice but to throw in the towel. And
T4s are gonna finish off the T30 to T34 as well.
it's excellent game feel from Delerious. We were questioning him, but we had no right to, because he was clearly in control, and GG, well played to him. Hope you guys enjoyed this cast. And thank you, OrangePest. Pleasure having you. Pleasure listening to your your insight. You certainly got it in abundance, so it's always good to hear. Good luck and have fun in the tournament. You got any players that you...
No, I'm not afraid of anyone. I'm gonna get first place this time.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, well, actually, no. I can't beat him. He's cursed. He's shut down my tournament run every single time.
Yeah, you've got some good top 8 finishes, though. You've got, I think you've had one top 4 in a smaller tournament, if I'm not mistaken, or something.
Well, I have some decent accomplishments. I beat Isolde and I beat Dave in a tournament, so that's
good going. No, Dave was once world #1 at one point in time, so that's not to be shirked at for certain. So good luck on Saturday. Again, the stream will be at 2 p.m. BST. That's 3 p.m. Central European Summertime, or 1 GMT, but that's currently in the Atlantic Ocean. But if you put it into Google, you can figure out when it is. And again, the Twitch channel will be twitch.tv/co-master league. So thanks, everybody, and goodbye.